Hey guys, welcome back to the jungle. This is CapoTico Trades here with another video after a long hiatus. Unfortunately, when you're doing too good, you don't want to upload because you're like, yo, this is not authentic, this is not real. But then when you tilt and you're bad, you're like, this is bad content. I can't upload this, you know? I'm totally okay, which I have done. You can find it in my videos. You can find it in my live videos I've uploaded videos of me tilting, videos of me not trading good, right? But and I still uploaded it, but I just don't want to like that tilting. That just like, man, it's just really hard to make content out of it. But honestly, maybe I should do it so I can just be disgusted by it, and maybe a lot of people see, and then I'll be ashamed. So we'll see how it goes on moving on forward from here. But I got four payouts last month, and I was just in a free flow state, right? Just going with the flow, not didn't want to switch anything up because it was working, and excuse me, and I wasn't very flexible, and I was having a loser and I was freaking out, and then after like a week of about 5 days of straight losing, I didn't know what to do. I locked up. I traded so bad, and I've been trying to get fun. I've been getting front accounts again and blowing, and until finally last week, I was like, "Yo, you need to get back to what was working. You know exactly what you need to do, and what you need to do to succeed in this. Um, Sometimes you get a little bit imposter syndrome as well that I had, so it was just kind of hard to get out of that loop, right? We finally got out of that loop. We're controlling ourselves again with the trade amounts, trade counts, timeouts between trades, analyzing the market more, and actually creating more really of like a trade plan. Because I do create a bias, right? Like, oh, I think the market's gonna go long, and I'll keep trying that, and then obviously like a couple trades might work, right? But then it wants to reverse, and I'm not really catching that on, and I'll keep trying to long on the way down, or vice versa, right? So, um, I I feel like I'm like, for example, the market profile right here that we can see is something that I grab my levels for every day, right? We got the Valley area high, IB high, or not IB high, but we got the Valley area high, the POCs, the range lows, etc., overnight lows, overnight highs, and we mark them so we can see them on our chart when we're trading, right? But am I using those that information that how it's intended to be used? Am I using that for me, or am I just like, oh, targets, or let me just TP to that, or let me put my SL there? Am I really understanding what the market is telling me, right? So that's something that I need to be more aware of when I go every morning when I create my trade plan. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because on the 5 days that I had a crazy like disclosure, I had a XFA with 12,000 buffer, and I lost it. I lost 12 days in a row because I was just so in my mind about not wanting to switch up, and I got there with using one or two minis, so I was using two minis, and then I had issues with one day. The day that I actually did good, the trade would have worked out. I had issues with the trade copier, and you know, uh, there's nothing I could do. It just lagged. It didn't work out, and unfortunately, just I hit the maximum, the DLL, and I just couldn't do anything about that. So, um, you know, which that also led to more tilt and trying to get accounts back, which is 100% not the right way to do things, right? You can't do that. There's just no way. Um, so while that was going on, we're in a Discord called the Jungle, and a couple seasoned traders were talking about certain things, and like when I was in a long, they were in a short, or vice versa, and it gives me kind of like an ego thing, like I want to be right, right? Like how, like, oh, they didn't post, like, I just want to be right. I just didn't want to be wrong. It's an ego thing, and especially when we're all sharing ideas and I'm the one streaming and things of that nature. So that also leads to like, oh no, no, the second guessing, the thoughts. So I started studying more about the market profile and really understanding a little bit more, which today finally, well, yesterday, it actually gave me the confidence to do good. And then today, I was fighting it a little bit, right? My trade plan didn't work out how I wanted it to in the morning, but I had confidence to have flexibility. Mr. Flexibility. Mr. Flexibility. You know, like Mr. Russell Wilson. But I know he's unlimited, but whatever. Joke. Uh so then I was able to be flexible and actually change my mind of my trade plan, right? Because my trade plan in the beginning of the day, um, it was really open. You see here where the open is, right? So when I was creating my trade plan, it was more right where the IB low was at. So I thought we would, on the opening range, we would have struggled. We wouldn't went up to the value area high, which where we went to from the previous session. Well, I thought we were gonna go to value area high here and then tap the overnight high, right? So I thought we would have gone from like up here to up here and then gotten this high at 537 and then maybe tinkled around up here and then gone down. Um, right? So that was like my trade plan. But we opened actually above the value area high, which honestly that should have told me right away just to go long and trust it. Um, instead of I scalped for $100 there, which I could have been a one and done in the morning, just taking that trade, and we could just that's it, right? Just get off the trade, off the computer. Don't even have to worry about anything else, really, right? But this is kind of when I want to highlight what gave me the confidence. So we'll talk about it a little bit more when I bring up the charts here in a second. But as you can see that we opened here, right? It says open. This is the previous new like New York session, right? This is like the overnight. This is regular time. So we open here above the Bay Area high, and we went up to not the previous, but 2 days ago's Valley Area high, right? Around 606, 601, 606. And then that was around 930, right? Initial balance. That was the highest, and it was set within 30 minutes. Uh, um, yeah, within like 30 minutes of the open. So that's what also gave me more confidence, and it's something that I learned in Mind Over Markets. And instead of trying to go, oh, we're already up here, right? It's not that far from 650. It's a lot of liquidity up there, you know, things of that nature. But as you can see, yesterday, value area closed way lower than um, Fridays, right? So this value area is a lot bigger. You know, it eats the whole one up there. So the range is getting bigger, and at that, you know, so yesterday, Monday, closed below. So most likely, you know, we can see that something has changed, right? Like it's not trending up like it was here, right? And normally I would just fall into those type of longs. So now we're just kind of after this, we're just going to go ahead and review the trades so we can now see how we apply this type of knowledge into actual trades. All right, guys, back to the trades that we were talking about earlier. So, I was trying to long up there, which I did. I did have a scalp until the standard deviation, the yellow lines up there, and then I tried to go along again on the breakdown. Now, this is where before I would have gone like tilty and then I would have kept trying along because I was like, well, that did make a new high and technically it's not a new low until we break where technically my take profit target is, right? And it's like this is just noise and I would keep trying along because I'm like, well, it's bouncing off like by VWAP, is bouncing by PP. It's this is where the fair value gap is, right? So I just fall into it. But what I was explaining with earlier with the market profile that about value and things of that nature, it gave me more confidence to like, hey, snap out of it. This is a reason why you're learning more stuff, right? Um, I actually listen to a calm application every morning just to like meditate and things like that. And this morning gave me some really good like tips and like um, just words of wisdom, right? So let me just look at that and find it real quick, just because I don't know if I pinned it, so I might have to find it. Um, if you discover a gap in a skill set, investigate it on how you can fill it, and that's what I felt I was at, because I saw the other people in my group taking the other trades the other way, and I was like, yo, there's something obviously wrong. Like there's something I just don't understand. Like why would it make a new high and then come all the way low? Like, and I would die by a whole bunch of trades right there. And I would have tried 6, 7 trades right there, and I would have just been done, and I would have been frustrated. And I'm like, oh well, now it's so clear, right? So I had to kind of slow down, and we targeted that low, simple trade, just to kind of, you know, get back up there. But here we ended up getting another scalp for a little bit, just to finish closer to the 1500 of the 50% consistency rule from Top Step, and that was like the pretty much end of it. But so once again, building that confidence. If you, I felt so. If you feel like if there's something that you just, man, there's something that's getting me, like one little thing. And I've tried to read mind over markets before, right? I try to skim through it. I didn't really t- take notes. I would just listen to it, right? But it's a lot different than actually studying it and understanding and comprehending, because when you understand and you're able to um, have confidence in your trades, you're not going to be so wishy-washy. You're not going to exit and enter trades so much, and things of that nature, right? So, um, yesterday, in the book, it said trade equals experience plus knowledge, right? And that is totally true. It's like, why would you take a trade if you don't know what you're doing, and you get that from experience and you get that from knowledge, right? So it's something that um it's just something that I gotta remind myself every day, and it's so hard to get dragged in on like, okay, this is my routine, do it now. But then the more you do it, kind of like the more autopilot, so the more less aware that you become, right? Because you're doing it, it's autopilot, and that's what I think my issue is after I got those payouts. It's like, okay, automatic, just do it. Trading is the link to experience and knowledge. So I just gotta, not only when I read my mantras in the morning, I also got to um I also got to make sure that I actually fully understand, like really grasp the meaning, the magnitude of it, because I'm a fucking type of dude. I'm just like, I'm down for it. Let's do it, right? So I'm a risk taker. That's just naturally me. So when I take dumb little trades just for the fuck of it, or just to do it because I think, I might be able to get a quick little scalp. If not, I'll put a break even. And honestly, that that just unnecessary trades. So every day we're gonna be working. I'm gonna try to do this every day, or every other day at least, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Honestly, because this was a lot of work to start with. So thank you guys to anybody who watched this, that who even, whatever, dude. Thank you everybody. I really appreciate it so much. Hopefully we'll keep growing and doing more cool things, and maybe once I get a little bit better, a bit better explaining things, I can actually like teach a little bit and quick little things. And yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks guys.